On today's episode, we're going to talk about sexual fetishes. So, I'm bringing a good friend of mine, Matt. He is the owner of Ticklish Chubs, and we're going to go dive deep into the fetish world.
Yeah.
So, would you like to indulge us in what your fetishes are?
So I've got several. So I have a foot fetish, I have a sock fetish, bondage, and tickling, mainly. And then pits and nipples and things like that. But
Okay.
mainly into tickling, mainly into bondage, feet, socks, things like that.
Okay. So, for our viewers out there that are new into fetishes and play in the bedroom, how does the tickling fetish work?
So I love tickling especially because it can go anywhere from mild to wild. So you can do it as simply as having a feather and like gently caressing somebody, or you can really be digging in and really getting them in a torturous situation. It's a great power dynamic that you can have with it, and you're able to just kind of go with the flow and see what works, what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good, and communication is always key. So being able to just do that, it's great.
Okay. So is it more for the eroticness or just more for the enjoyment?
For me personally, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So I love being able to do it for the enjoyment. I love being able to have people realize what this is, and that tickling can go in a very sensual, very erotic way. And it can just be a lot of fun on top of that. So it doesn't necessarily need to be something that's going to get you off, but it can definitely help you get there.
Gotcha. All right. So it doesn't always have to be the TNT in the bedroom,
Correct.
but it's definitely the tool to help you get to there.
100%.
Okay. And so you mentioned feet as well.
Yes.
So would you like to explain to us how that works as well?
So, a fun fact with your anatomy and everything, the part of your brain that is sexually attracted to like your private parts and whatnot is right next to feet. So sometimes it just gets crosswired, and feet, like, that's why the foot fetish is the number one fetish in the world, because it kind of crosswires with everything as well. So just the look of a foot, however you like your foot. I personally like mine a little bit cleaner, but they can have a little bit of a smell to them, not necessarily like dirt on top of them. But I know people who love like incredibly smelly, incredibly dirty feet.
Yeah.
Just it's whatever their preference is.
Okay, so like a little man musk or just like the sweat from your feet from walking.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's what I love.
So nothing like too repugnant or anything like that.
No.
Alrighty.
I gotta be in the mood for
Okay, yeah, because I understand that because I've had times where I'm just like, oh, I just want to lick this dude's pits or something.
Yes.
Especially after the gym, and then you just like, it's just something about it that you just want to either sniff it or just get straight up into it. And like, I don't want it to like smell, but I just want it to.
Right.
I want it to smell like deodorant, but with
that man musk,
the musk
to it.
Seeping through it, and you're just like, oh, just come free into me,
and that's what I love. I've always gone towards taboo things anyway. So like, you're not supposed to want to smell something, or you're not supposed to. Oh, it shouldn't have that man musk. No, give me the musk. like, give me the pits, give me the feet. I want to smell it. I want to taste it. I want to do all of it.
Yeah, you want to have all your senses in line.
So also with the power dynamic, so I'm a switch, so I love both aspects of it. So I love really being able to kind of be in a subby head space, letting somebody take full control in a very safe and controlled environment. But I also love being able to flip that and being able to be a very dominant, very much like, this is done when I say we're done.
Yeah.
But it's also, that's something that I'm very cautious with as well, especially as a dom. My job as a dom, and to every dom out there, our job as a dom is to push limits, not to tell people what their limits are. So I always make sure that there's a safe word no matter what we're doing, whether it's just bondage, whether it's tickling, whether it's feet. If at any point there is comfort that is being crossed, or there is a line being crossed, or there is uncomfortability, always use a safe word. Always say something, because communication is key and consent is sexy. So
Yeah. So I know you were talking about domination. Do you think 50 Shades of Grey was a good representation on
absolutely
how it
not.
is?
Absolutely not.
Nothing at all? It's completely
No.
not how
I
it
mean,
is?
it was, don't get me wrong, it was hot for certain aspects of it, but there was a lot of manipulation with that. There was a lot of just non-consensual things, and
Yeah.
and trying to say that you are in charge of someone. I'm not a fan of that. So
Okay, yeah, because I guess that was more in the deep state of
correct.
how like domination could be to
Yeah.
its more maximum side.
If you establish that with a sub, as a dominant sub, like there is still a relationship. If you can establish that with someone, great, go for it.
Yeah, because I've seen that, I think, in the gay community.
Yes.
Where, like, you'll have I want to say a pup, and he'll have an owner.
Mhm.
He'll have the keys chain symbolizing that he is owned,
Mhm.
that he is someone else's property and everything, and that he must obey his owner.
Like you can have it. You can have it that way. So I know some people who have it so that you are a total sub every time you're with that person. I also know it where it's just a sub in the bedroom. You know, it all depends on the dynamic that you personally want. It's mainly, I always like to let people know you're human. You have a way out. There's always a way out of something, and I don't like there can be a very dark side to kinks and fetishes and things like that, and it's all dealing with communication and consent. As long as you are consenting and you are not being manipulated with that, go for whatever you want. I'm never here to yuck somebody's yum. You know what I mean?
So it's kind of like the same rule of thumb, like with moderation. So
correct.
as long as you do like what you're capable of doing, what is just like in the sweet spot,
Yes.
and everything is pretty good and straightforward.
Exactly.
Tickling, feet, bondage.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other fetishes that might be out there that might be
Of torturous pleasure. So the idea of giving somebody so much pleasure and it feels so good that they're begging for you to stop, but at the same time they're begging you to keep going.
So like when you've reached your climax and your sensitivity is there, but someone keeps just going.
Someone just keeps going. I think a very good idea with that is...
I think we all have seen those memes, right? Where
yes!
it's like, oh, where she keeps going.
Yes!
And you're like, oh, the pain. Okay.
So I love that, but also think of it this way, like if somebody were to have like a prostate orgasm, but you just keep on rubbing the prostate.
Gotcha.
So I love that idea and giving that to someone and also taunting them with that. So, you know, that a lot of times is that very erotic portion of it is I'm in control, I'm letting you know I'm in control, and I know that this is driving you up a wall, but I'm going to keep doing it. It's a lot of fun in that aspect. So that's one of the reasons why I love tickling so much, is because that always has that consensual non-consent, but this is also why I always have safe words. You know,
consent is the sexiest.
Consent is sexy.
It's super sexy.
Consent is sexy. So that's why if you're tickling somebody and they can say no, stop, all that stuff, you can keep going if you have that. It's that's something that I always incorporate in my scenes as well.
That's why you set up the safe word.
That's why I always set up the safe word.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the magic key to actually, because sometimes no might not mean no.
Exactly.
Unless, this might get a little straight out of the thing, but if she says no, she says no. Guys,
if she says no, she says no.
Unless it's been consented, and you guys spoke of this earlier, the safe word is pineapple or Fuji Mount Dora. Whatever might be your safe word out there. I don't know why.
Or it can be as easy as blue. That's my safe word. I always use blue. So
I always use pineapple. It's like the most common safe word, and I think everyone just knows pineapple just comes out. Because why would you say pineapple?
No,
when
my friend's one safe word is meatloaf, because she'll do anything for love, but she won't do that.
Oh, so no meatloaf in the bedroom. Very messy.
Unless you're into Food Kings, do it.
But isn't Food Kings more like syrups and frosting?
Oh no, I've seen Food Kings with like cakes and pizza and
but it's still like frosting and
not pizza, puddings.
I have love for pizza, so I can see me being
I would totally eat pizza in a scene. It'll be great.
Yeah, I can see me with the pizza. Just, Okay, sorry, this is no longer PG, guys. I'm sorry. So, for all our viewers out there that haven't really have anyone to play with, or they're just like, discovering fetishes for the first time, how would you recommend path for them to figure out what is a good fetish for them?
I think a really good way to do it, just kind of do what I did when I was a kid. I just kind of started looking things up. I knew that I liked tickling, just something that might pop into your brain. Go for it. Look it up. See if that's something that you could be into. Be explorative. People are into all types of different things. Recon is a great place for people to check different types of fetishes. FetLife is a great place. And then you can always find stuff on Grindr and all that jazz, and they can see what people are into on there.
Okay.
And the best thing is to ask. If you see something and you're not sure what that is, just ask. I'm always one to say, hey, this is what I like. Ask away. What do you want to know?
Good. Yeah, because I remember sometimes I will Google something and it will not show me the soft side of it.
It goes right to the hard side.
Yeah, it just sold me to the full hardcore end of it. I'm just like, I just wanted to see shoes, not. As an example, shoes, and then you just see the dark side of shoes, which is something weird enough. But you're like, wow, I didn't know it can go that far and that deep dark. So,
which is also a fetish as well.
Yeah, but definitely, so Pornhub would be a great way to kind of start into it. Would King Play be another? Is that another site as well?
Think so?
Yeah.
Sure.
So King Play, and then you mentioned Recon. That's another site.
Recon, FetLife. FetLife is great. Recon is male and male identifying. FetLife is for men, women, cisgender men, transgender men, transgender women. It's kind of more generalized.
And you also even have your own website as well.
I do, ticklishchubs.com.
Okay, so you got Ticklish Chubs, and that will be a great way to get into the ticklish and feet, right?
Tickling and feet.
There you go. So that would be a great way to start that up and get interested in tickling and feet.
Come check it out. Come laugh with us. It'll be great.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's basically it. Thank you, Matt, for joining us on this episode. And for you guys, just keep subscribing, liking, and commenting, and then we'll keep going down on this journey. Love you guys.
Later.